We study with you angles. We study with you parallel lines. We study transversal. We study triangle. We study similar triangles. And now we went through addition postulate, right? Little by little. And you see, every time you see separate pieces, not necessarily connected too much to each other. I will show one diagram which help you and save time and show general vision of different part of geometry connected together. Before to do this, I would like to introduce a little bit. This is from my book. I do not publish it from my book. That's why my recommendation, make all notes in your notebook, right? And I will tell you about, in computer science, since I'm a professor in modern computer languages, we use an object-oriented programming, we use inheritance. And inheritance is a great idea, not only for computer programming, but also in math, because it shows you a lot of connections, different connections. I give example. Let me start for simplicity, since you're not familiar with programming too much, like Java or C++, all these languages, or Visual Studio.NET. I introduce this idea basic on biology example, first of all. After that, we switch to geometry. In computer science, everything we use gadgets. We created a program which use idea of inheritance. In one class, they put attributes and methods, or properties and methods. And after that, you write a new class, and this class inherited from previous class based on this feature. I know this is not giving too much information for you, but if you look on this picture, I start to make it small. Let's say from biology, we have the topic is a relationship or parent child relationship, or inheritance. They have another many different features. For instance, ancestor, descendant. This is enough. Just three. It meaning the same. Let's say in biology we have a class. We name this class mammal. I make this example. Mammals. If I make this class, this name of this class mammals, it has attribute or properties. Attributes or properties. If you're talking about mammals, we have a lot of different attributes. I just give a few of them because it's not biology class, right? And you'll see how easy and nicely it works every time. Few features of this we'll use. Okay, for instance. Okay. What may they have? Milk glands. Milk glands. One property. Their vertebrates, or using simple English, they have backbone. Or vertebrates, all of them. I give few more properties. Okay. They are warm-blooded. We name it warm-blooded metabolism. It's not adjective because this property usually nouns we use, nouns. I make it short, warm-blooded metabolism, etc. They have 5 senses. They have diaphragms, 4 chambers in heart, etc., etc. You get the idea of properties. And in addition, they have what? They also have methods. Methods, or in some computer languages, we name it functions. Methods, we describe by verbs. And what were method? I just give some example of this. They can give birth to live young. This method. They're not laying eggs, right, like birds. This one method common to all these animals. I can give you another one. For instance, they have ability to thermoregulate, change temperature. Okay, and maintain it 36 and 6 degrees Celsius. They have ability of abstract thinking. I will use think, abstract, etc., etc. If you use all this method and feature, it takes a lot of space, but I give you an idea. And all the mammals. Now, if you want to decide to create another class, take any instance of this. For instance, cats. We have cats. Cats also have attribute properties and methods. But instead of writing all this list, I can tell the cats, or cat. I use same word since I use is and not cat. Cat is a mammal. It means cat inherited from mammals all features, plus has his own features. So if it's inherited, I'm not supposed to write all this stuff again. If I put this arrow, arrows mean this cat inherited from this class of mammal. I can tell the cat is a mammal, plus his own feature. Okay. For instance, it has 4 feet, 5 toes. I just make some examples, say properties. They have whiskers, etc., etc. Okay, because I can have another whale, another mammal, let's say dolphin. Okay, if I put here dolphin, they also mean dolphin, right? They also mammals, but they don't have these features. I'm talking about cat, etc. I give another example. We can have a leopard. Leopard. It's another class. And inherited from class cat. Why inherit? Because leopard is a cat, but it's big cat and has his own feature, right? Make sense? And you can write here properties or attributes, a method of leopard. Or you can have, for instance, lion or tiger. Tiger with his own features. Or you can have lion. This is a great idea of modern programming. When you use your gadgets in different games, usually computer programmers, before to write program, they use flowchart and they use UML, Unified Modular Language, which provide this relation between different classes. And each class they use inheritance a lot. In this beauty, if you want to create another animal, let's say dolphin, you decided to create, or whale, you're not supposed to write from scratch. You just inherited everything from mammals, since dolphin is a mammal, plus add few features. That's it. So let's see what we got. This arrows shows who inherited from whom. If lion inherited from cat, you can say lion is a cat. Cat is a parent for lion, and lion is a child. And cat inherited from mammals. Cat is a mammal. And this is direct ancestor. And this indirect, if you're making this terminology, this is child, this is parent, and you can think this is grandparent. If you go this line like this one, you see this, you can go this way. From this class to this class, and from this to this class, it means they show this is lion is a cat, lion is a mammal, tiger is a cat, leopard is a cat, leopard is a mammal. Is question for everybody. Is mammal a cat? Question is mammal a cat? Who can tell me, answer the question? Who think mammal is a cat? Put your hand down. Mammal is not a cat. Cat inherited from mammal. Cat is a mammal. You see this direction of this flow chart, of this flow? Cat is a mammal, but mammal is not a cat. Maybe it's dolphin. Maybe it's whale. I don't know. You have to take consideration. I give example. Pretend your parents, this your parents. And you are a child. Child. So is a means inheritance. Okay. Based on this question for you, is child a parent? Who thinks the child is a parent? Let me explain. It looks weird, but it means you know about genes a little bit, right? About inheritance, you maybe study. You inherited all feature from your parents, right? Plus you have your own features. You're not the same. Can parent inherit from you any features? What do you think? Is it possible?
No.
No. Who was the first? Parents. And after that, you came. Okay. This is extremely great idea. Who has question about this so far? Okay. No questions? Now I show how this idea works for geometry. Why it's important? Look at this. If I know everything about mammals, I'm not supposed to memorize anything for cat. All this, otherwise, what you're doing in school, every time you study this, after that you study this, you memorize all this garbage stuff. You study this again, you memorize the garbage stuff. It does not work. If you know general picture, like forest, from forest you can go to leaves. You're not supposed to memorize the same stuff over and over again. It was philosopher, his was named Mirabeau. And he said the brain is not garbage can. You're not supposed to put here a lot of information, only necessary information. Okay, now let's see how it works for in geometry. I need more room. So better if you have entire page, because I want to practice and give you connection between different classes. And based on this, you have to find. Let's say you have a two-dimensional shape, appearance, 2D shapes. And we can make, you study different two-dimensional shape. And let me classify it by number of sides. If you have 3 sides, how do we name two-dimensional shape with 3 sides? Students, how do you name this shape? Help me. Triangle, yes or no? So you have triangle. I don't know, to make a picture, make names. Let's say this is triangle. And triangle, parent for triangle is definitely what? 2D shape. You can say triangle is 2-dimensional shape. And you have different triangles. For instance, you can have scalene triangle. Triangle. Next space. I can have isosceles triangle. And I can have, let's say, equilateral triangle. And what is good of this? All of them triangles, right? And if you know formula for, let's say, one property, how to find, or you have method, how to find area. How to find area, give me idea how to find area of triangle. Area of triangle, give me formula.
Base times height divided by 2.
Excellent.
Base divided by 2.
Base times height divided by 2. If you have any triangle, scalene triangle, and this is base, and this is height, you can easily find this. But since this have nice hierarchy of inheritance, it's applicable for any child of this class. So automatically goes to all of them. But in this particular case, child has his own feature. If you're talking about, you can use also here, let's say, right triangle, right? Right. If you have right triangle, in right triangle, you don't have altitude like this. You have A times B divided by 2. Okay, these two sides. Why? Because it's perpendicular. For right triangle area, A times B divided by 2. Very similar is derivative from this one. But if you're talking about isosceles triangle, can I apply this formula for isosceles triangle? Yes, it is, because it's a child. But what about equilateral triangle? Can I apply? Yes. But keep in mind, especially for your test, who remember formula for equilateral triangle? Specific formula. Specific. Anybody? We did it with you. So if we have equilateral, we can use this formula. Its formula goes for all of them, but especially for equilateral, area, triangle, equilateral.
Isn't it side times side times side?
No.
Side to the power of 2, and then the root of, wait,
Okay, look at this. Equals side to the second power, square root of 3 over 4. This is a beautiful formula. Side by side, the sign does not work, because even from point of view of measurement, this two-dimensional is supposed to be measurement in second power. We multiply inch by inch by inch, you said cubic power, does not work. But what is S? Let's say on the test they give a triangle, equilateral, they said equilateral. Okay. And let's say one side equals to 10. Any side. How to find area? You cannot use this formula because directly, because you don't have height. You can use it. You can use Pythagorean theorem, find height, and it's wasting time. On the test, you have 57 questions for 90 minutes. You can use this formula, but in a realistically long. Instead of doing this, creating everything from scratch, what I'm doing, how to find area? Look at this. Beautiful. Area equals 10 to the second times square root of 3 over 4. Or 100 times square root of 3 over 4. Or simplify, it would be 25 square root of 3. So from now, you know, we have more formula. Your own formula. I don't give you extra what you need. We need only these two so far. When you study for SAT or different problem for in masters, etc., we have few more different. But you need, this is basic formula for all of them. But if you don't have this height, you have only these sides, you have another formula. Isn't it beautiful? Instead of memorization every time, for this you're supposed to use for this, and every time you're repeating over and over again. Without any repetition, you know, it works all of them. Now, let's go through another animal. This name is 4 sides. 4 sides, we name it quadri. Quadri in Latin means 4, and lateral means sides. 4 sides. Okay. This is quadrilateral, is another child of 2D shapes. And today I want to emphasize, I need a good room. I want to start with you quadrilaterals. So, for instance, one of them is parallelogram. Write it down. Parallelogram. Parallelogram has attributable properties. I will make parallelogram for you. Where is it? My parallelogram. Here it is. Okay, pretend this is parallelogram. And why we name it parallelogram? Because opposite sides are parallel. Opposite sides, this side and this parallel, and this side and this also parallel. Wherever I change it, so by definition, For parallelogram, I put this together, right? Right now to make more room. Okay. So quadrilateral is a shape with four sides. In parallelogram, opposite sides are parallel. Opposite sides, I make it short, parallel. Opposite angles, opposite angles, congruent, the same. I don't have too much room. Congruent, the same. Okay. We can have more features for parallelogram. If you put them together, we can have few more features. If I make a parallelogram here for explanation, and this angle, how you name this to pretend this to parallel line, this transversal? How you name these two angles? Consecutive angles, right? Or interior on the same side. Consecutive angles on one side. Consecutive angles are supplementary. What is supplementary? Give you total 180 degrees.
180.
This is properties. You see connection with these mammals. We can have more property for this, right? Diagonals bisects each other. So what is it? I just for explanation, I make this big picture after the erase. If this is, let me make a picture of parallelogram. Don't write here, write on another page. Okay, this parallelogram. So this side and this side parallel. This side and this side parallel. This angle equals to each other. This angle and this angle equals to each other. This side and this side equals to each other. This side and this side equal to each other. I don't have too much room. I just explain basic property. If I make diagonal, this will name diagonal. They bisect. What is it? When they intersected, this piece equals to this piece, and this piece equal to this piece. We're going to go through in more details. We have a few features. I don't have too much room on this, but this is property of this class parallelogram. Did you get this idea? And we have some method. For instance, method is, let's say, put method. Area, to find area, you have to multiply base times height. If this is base and this is height, or you can expand this and make perpendicular, this is height. It's the same. This is base. Base times height. You can find perimeter. Perimeter equals to, since this and this is the same, let's say this is A plus B, because these two and these two. I can give you more features of this, but this is enough for understanding. Pretend you study a parallelogram in very details. It has a child, and not one child. For instance, if in parallelogram all sides are the same, it will be rhombus. Rhombus. And what is beauty of this? Rhombus inherited from parallelogram, so rhombus is parallelogram, and parallelogram inherited from quadrilateral. Very nice chain. Only he has all these features I just mentioned, plus his own. For instance, all sides are the same. All sides are the same. I make it short. You know, from this diagonal bisect each other. It bisects it like bicycle, has two equal parts, right? But in rhombus, diagonals mutually perpendicular. An angle in rhombus, if I make a rhombus over there, present this rhombus. This angle always 90 degrees. Angle between diagonals, or I put like this, diagonals perpendicular each other. Perpendicular to each other. Well, how to find area of rhombus you never study? Who will tell me how to find area of rhombus? Use common sense and lectures today I give you. How to find area? Let's say I got a rhombus. I have never practiced with rhombus, but I know this nicely related. What area? How to find area of rhombus? Who will tell me? Help me.
1/2 of the first diagonal multiplied by the second diagonal.
But this is different feature. I'm talking about this feature when inherited. I ask you inherited feature. The same. Whatever you have for parents and inherited for rhombus, it's for sure base times height. Why? Because this is child of this one. Plus, definitely I agree with you, it has new feature. Area of rhombus is new feature. This obvious goes to this one. Is 1/2 product of diagonals. Can I apply this formula for parallelogram? No. It's only feature of rhombus. You see, beautiful. Instead of memorization of this stuff, you know automatically it's applicable for rhombus. Okay. Who understand up to this point everything? It's like you're a stranger. You came to New York and you decided to use your subway. And you came to subway, you got lost. But if you have a map, you can get to any place of New York. This map to geometry. Let me erase it. I need more room. And I can have another child for this paragraph. Another child, I will name this child rectangle. Rectangle. Why I consider rectangle a parallelogram? Well, rectangle, I will make this model. Pretend this is parallelogram. This is parallelogram. When all angles 90 degrees, it becomes rectangle. Can be any sides. So you can say that rectangle A is a parallelogram for all angles 90 degrees. For instance. Second, if you look at this, picture, okay, diagonal of rectangles are the same, congruent, we name it math. Diagonals are the same. Diagonals equal to each other. Okay, so far so good. We have more features, but all of them, all this opposite sides parallel, yes. Opposite angle congruent, yes. but all angles 90 degrees. Well, we have very smart child, very small child for two parents, rhombus and rectangle, and this child is a square. Square. It inherited from rectangle. Why? Square is a rectangle where all sides are the same. And square is a rhombus where all angles 90 degrees. So square compared to this, it has two parents. One parent is rhombus, another rectangle. So can I use this formula for square? Yes. But who based on this will give me formula for square? Very specific formula. It goes from this diagonal, from this diagram. I will give this area of square. Sometimes it's very helpful. Area of square, you know this. First of all, is side to the second power. It's everybody knows, right? If you have a square, and this is a side to the second, it's obvious. But the second one goes from this. Since square is a rhombus, and in rhombus, area of rhombus equal half a product of diagonals. In square, diagonals are the same. So area of square, second formula. It helps you to solve some problems in square. 1/2 d to the second. Why d to the second? Because diagonal and square are the same. Okay. And this is formula help you to solve some problem very fast. They give the diagonal, they ask you to find area. You have to, instead of using Pythagorean, you can do in one shot. Boom, that's it. But don't think this, what we have here, is everything for sides for quadrilateral. We can have another quadrilateral. For instance, we can have trapezoid. Trapezoid.
I have
Yes.
a question. For the area for this square, can't you just do length times width?
Yes, definitely you can do with length times width. You can do this, but since length and width the same, you get another formula derivative, a to the second power. Since length and width the same, you have derivative length to the second power. So far, so good? Yes. And trapezoid, you know trapezoid, right? And trapezoid, what is trapezoid? Is two-dimensional shape, quadrilateral, in which two sides are parallel. This is trapezoid. And to find area of trapezoid, for instance, area equals, this is base 1, this is base 2, this is height, make notes, altitude. Base 1 plus base 2 divided by 2 multiplied by height. And trapezoid not related to parallelogram, it's a different branch, independent branch. Let me make this because I need to erase it. I'll make this picture. B1, B2. Okay. Next, we have another quadrilateral. Who will help me? What's another quadrilateral I do not use so far? Kite. In kite, let me make a picture. Let's say this kite. This kite. I make an obtuse angle and make line of symmetry to build it. This is a kite. In kite, these two sides are the same, these two sides the same. Okay. And this is a kite. To find area of this kite, you're supposed to split it by two triangles and multiply diagonals and divide by, you have to multiply diagonals. This is D1, D2. So practically speaking, this is a great idea, because from now, instead of memorizing a lot of stuff, let's say on the test they ask you identify square. Who tell me all names of square? All square names. Anybody wanna try? Who wanna try? Yes, go ahead, Georgie. All names of square.
First the square.
Yes.
Maybe second the rectangle, because
Can hear you. One more time.
maybe second is rectangle, because
Rectangle.
it's like a square.
Okay. Not like is a square.
Yeah. And also rhombus. Oh no. Like how do you say like a tilted square? A rhombus, right?
What is a tilted square? Look at this diagram. I'll help you a little bit. Nice try at the beginning. Look at this. Let me explain again. Remember I explained you about biology a little bit, right? And this parent-child relationship or ancestor-descendant relationship, who is a relationship. This arrow shows who inherited from whom. Look at this. Square inherited from rectangle, and square is inherited from rhombus. Rhombus is a parent, and square and rectangle is a parent of square. Now, rhombus inherited from parallelogram. So it means rhombus is a parallelogram, and rectangle is a parallelogram. And this definitely parents of this child. But if you go to this level, it's kind of grandparents of square. Because if you go look at this, can I move by this arrow? Yes, this one, I may move it there. I get parallelogram. But parallelogram inherited from quadrilateral. And this is grandparent of square. So I give you all these names. Look at this. Square itself. Is a rectangle? Yes. Because child always a parents. Square is a rhombus? Yes. Square is a parallelogram? Yes. Square is a quadrilateral? Yes. So all these names, sometimes they ask you identify shape on the test. And you just write square is a rectangle, you fail. With this diagram, you cannot miss the target. It's impossible. Now, question is parallelogram? Because you see this inherited all feature from parallelogram. Who think? Put your hands down. Oh. Who think kite is a rhombus? Kite is a rhombus. Raise your hand. Okay, better. Not everybody, but better, but not good. Adela, look at this. This is a kite, one branch, and rhombus is absolutely different branch, not related to this. You miss this point. Do you know what they're gonna do? I never revealed this. Probably ask manager to cut this piece and put in our Facebook and internet. Watch again. It helps you a lot when you do homework and ask you identify if it's parallelogram on anything. You get example. You have all basic formulas for homework. Okay. And based on this, on the general picture, always keep in mind, it's not only identify some question. Okay. Not only identify. For instance, you have a question. Some questions. You have It looks like parallelogram. Okay. And you have sides. Let's say x plus 4, and this 2x minus 3. And I just made up some examples. And x minus 7 and x plus 9, for instance. And you have to identify what shape is it. So it's look like parallelogram, but you have to solve equation, prove that all sides are the same. If the same, it would be rhombus as well. You understand the idea? Why? Because you have beautiful diagram. In rhombus, all sides are the same. So this one activity, another kind of activity you get for home. For instance, I give you rhombus. And this side, let's say this is height equals to 7 and base equals to 10. Find area right now. Send me result. This is a rhombus. Send me results. Everybody. Okay, good. Good, good, good. Everybody. I know this is too easy, right? Anwar, wrong. No, you have to find area. Nathan, find area. Area of rhombus. This is rhombus, yes. Okay, yes. That's too easy question, too easy. But even this question, some student made wrong. Okay. Good, good, good. We're out of time. Let me show this. This is, look at this. Rhombus is parallelogram. And for parallelogram, area is base times height. So area of rhombus equals 10 times 7, which is 70 square units. So far, so good? Good. Should we memorize this? Automatically goes if you know all this relay. I give another example. Look at this. Pretend this is a square. And one diagonal of square, diagonal equals to, let's say, 5 inches. This is a square given, a square. Find area of square, and send me this very fast. So who's supposed to redo? Evelyn K. redo it. Elizabeth redo it. Anwar redo it. If I did not name your name, you did correctly. Aiden also can practice. Victoria wrong. Okay, Miriam good. Nathan wrong. Elizabeth correct. Okay. Anybody else? Who you have, raise your hand. Well, look at this. For square inherited from rhombus. For rhombus, area of rhombus, half of product of diagonal. And for square, we have formula half of diagonal to the second power. Area of square would be 1 over 2 times 5 to the second power, or 1 over 2 times 25, or 12.5. Okay. Who understands this 100%? Okay. Did you study this formula in school? No. But it helps you to save time because we fight for seconds. No wonder students solve this test for 37 minutes instead of 90 minutes. My students. Well, let me give another one. Let's say and simplify. Another example, you have a equilateral triangle, all sides the same. Okay. And every side is 8. Equilateral. Find area or equilateral. And send me. You must simplify everything. You know this rule. If you need to simplify. Jacqueline wrong. Okay, Evelyn, good. Danielle, yes. Nathan, no. Alexander K, no. Nathan, no. Everybody try. Aiden, why use some application? Ольга, переговори, потом объясни задание. То есть он не может ничего использовать.
Кто?
Aiden. Does not work. You want to be smart, you can't use any application in this computer, except of this one. You in my class. Okay, Jonathan, you pass. Elizabeth, no. George, yes. Victoria, yes. No, Miriam. Everybody is supposed to write these answers here. No problem. Okay. Accept it, Aiden. Accept it. But try to solve this problem, send me result. Yes, only you write weird way, but you got the idea.
Dr. Farber,
Uh-huh.
how do I write square root, but like on my keyboard?
SQRT. I will show in a moment. Okay, we did already a few times. Okay, beta, 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 but too long. Look at this. Students. For equilateral triangle area, when three sides are given, there is no vertical altitude, there is no altitude, no heights, right? Area of triangle equals s squared times square root of 3 over 4. What is s? S is side. Which side? All sides the same. So it means 8 to the second times square root of 3 over 4, or 64 8 to the second times square root of 3 over 4. And 4 goes into 64 16 times. And the answer is 16 square root of 3. Now, how to write it here? How to represent this answer in control pair? You write 16 SQRT of 3. If you use power, for instance, 2 to power 7, you write 2, this thingy, 7, it's the same. Square root, why use this one? I just explained, you have this formula, look at this. It means you're not listening on the class. What we did today, we cover basically great idea of modern object-oriented programming. Applicable, I have many examples of programming we use extremely great in geometry. So my suggestion, go over through this page, through this picture, try to understand all this relationship. And today, after my next meeting at night, I send you homework. In homework, you have everything is given here. All information is given. I give homework for different pieces of geometry, not complicated. And based on this information, you have all this formula, you have all this understanding, and you try to solve all of them. If you have any question, ask me. Okay. Who understand this concept? Okay, Georgie, Mark, Maxim, Rebecca, Adeline, Aiden. Raise your hand. Okay. Aiden, in future, you can't use any. Let me put this way. I respect everybody in my academy. If I accept, I respect. But this program connected with my AI. I'm not going to repeat over and over again. Don't use application, anything. Program is programmed. Next time you will be in database. If you use few times any, doesn't matter what, system just disconnected, kick you out from this list. Aiden, you understand this? Yes or no? I have a question. Do you understand? Type me or answer me question. Yes, good. So it's not fair. Parents, you work. That's your job. You want to succeed, just follow this and you'll be the winner. It's it. I don't accept anybody who fall around this in class. No way. So again, before we go, I give you a couple questions. Is rectangle a kite? Who think? Put your hands down. Hands down, everybody. But Anwar, George, Jonathan, 2 seconds to follow me. Jonathan, is a rectangle a kite? Raise your hand. Who think a rectangle is a kite? No, Ryan, not at all. This is a rectangle, and this is a kite. No connections. Okay. Is a relation based on this? Is square a quadrilateral? Who think? Raise your hand if you think. Is square a quadrilateral? Okay, put your hands down. Who thinks the square is? Who thinks square is not quadrilateral? Raise your hand. You're not listening. Look at this, Miriam. Square, go this way. Is rectangle. Rectangle is, you see these arrows? Rectangle is parallelogram, and parallelogram is quadrilateral. So quadrilateral is grandpa of parents of square. This is direct. This is next level, and this next level. You see, if you go, you can go according to this flow. This is a quadrilateral. And you can check what is quadrilateral, 4 sides. But you have to know this diagram. Next question. Could give me all names for rhombus. All possible. We already did it today. Give me all possible names for rhombus before we left. Who would like to tell to practice rhombus?
Can I try?
Yes, go ahead.
All
Oh, just a
possible
second. Just a second. Type me all name of rhombus here. I want to see how you understand. All name of all names. To get a plus, you have to get all names. If you miss one name, it doesn't count. It's the same like on the test. All names for rhombus. Subdivide by comma. Don't forget about rhombus itself. Nora, not good, and some Miriam, good. Ada, not good. Evelyn, okay, Anwar, good. No, George, wrong completely. Yes, Lina. Yes, Nathan. No, Benjamin, not at all. Yes, Aiden, good. You see, good, much better. Okay. Somebody get even better. David, good. Now let me see. I can read this. It's 3 dots over there. Let me tell you all different names for this. If rhombus, look at this. Rhombus itself, 1, right? Somebody wrote square. No. This is a parent. You see, you can go against, right? You can go against the row arrow. This arrow shows who is inherited from who. Square is a child of this. You can go against of this row. So rhombus 1, it doesn't inherit anything from a rectangle. A rectangle is different creature. Rhombus inherited from parallelogram 2. Parallelogram inherited from quadrilateral 3. And quadrilateral inherited from 2D shape from this one, 4. You have to go against of this, not against, you have to get along of this row from this diagonal. Who understand this?
Dr.
Is it
Farber?
Yes.
So in conclusion, a square is a rhombus, but a rhombus isn't a square.
Absolutely, 100%. Square is a rhombus, and it shows why. What is definition of square? Square is a rhombus where all angles 90 degrees. Or square is a rectangle, it's inherited already all 90 degrees, where all sides are the same. They're different branches, not related to each other. If you can go from, look at this, Miriam, you go against of this arrow, right? Along of this arrow, you can't jump over there, it's a different story. If you go home, you go home. Okay, because square is a child. Remember this nice mammal example? You can inherit from your parents, but parents never inherit from you, because parents were the first. After that, you appear in this world, right? Yes or no? Okay, students. One before we leave, I know you have extra time. One more time. Okay, tell me all names for rectangle. Good luck. Please, comma. Rectangle. All names for rectangle. Subdivide by comma. Identify this rectangle. Okay, much better right now, much better. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, Emilia, no. You can go from parent to child. It's against of this flow. Emilia, you see, if I ask you a rectangle, you can go against to this square. No way. You only go this way. You understand this?
Sorry, Dr. Faber, my computer's not turned off. Which one are we identifying?
A rectangle.
Oh, okay.
Ryan, try. I don't see your answers. So remember, on this test, if they ask you to identify shape, you have to give all names. No, Ryan. Look at this again, students. Look at this rectangle. Can you see this rectangle? Rectangle is a child of which class? I go to this one. Rectangle is a parallelogram. You can go against. Can you see this arrow? I make it bigger. If, let's say, you drive a car, it's written only this way. Can you go opposite way? What happens? So, if rectangle is the first rectangle, second I go this way, you see this arrow, is parallelogram. The rectangle is parallelogram. Parallelogram is quadrilateral. You see this arrow? And quadrilateral is two-dimensional shape, 2D shape. Is it difficult? Can I include square? No. Because square, parallelogram is not a square, but square is parallelogram. For instance, cat is a mammal, but mammal is not a cat. Maybe it's whale. I don't know. Always child is a parent. Who understand this so far? Okay. Well, if you don't have any questions, you have questions for today's lecture? If you don't have questions at home, practice with this. I give you deliberately different handouts from this related to what you have enough information for practicing. And I want to explain